like stories. Do you like stories? I assume you do if you consume scripted media, especially since you've been watching videos of mine and I've been talking about stuff like this. So, what makes a good story? Well, obviously there are several ingredients to a good story. Strong themes, interesting plots, likable characters. Of all the ingredients for this plot stew that we're brewing today, one of the most titular aspects is, of course, the protagonist. More often than not, the protagonist is the most important character in the story, because it is their actions and reactions that more often than not drive the story along. And when it comes to shonen anime, our protagonists often get argued about in comment sections and forums across the globe. Who's the strongest? The smartest? The most likable? Who is the best protagonist? I'd like to put my hat in the ring and try and iron out who really is the best protagonist for their show respectively. Before we can get down to the nitty-gritty, there are a few things that we need to establish first. First off, what qualities are we looking for in a protagonist? What makes them so great and what makes us as the audience want to follow their story? Well, after thinking about it for a while, I've concluded 15 traits that we're going to be using to measure each one of our protagonists by. Relatability. A protagonist must resonate with the audience, reflecting common human experience and emotions. Depth of character, which is complexity that adds richness to a protagonist, making them compelling and multidimensional. Motivation, or clear goals and aspirations that drive the protagonist forward, anchoring the narrative with purpose. Courage, which is the ability to face challenges head-on and demonstrating bravery in adversity, showcases the protagonist's strength of character. Empathy, the ability to understand and connect with others, fosters meaningful relationships and character development. Resilience, overcoming setbacks and hardships underscores the protagonist's perseverance and determination. Morality, a strong moral compass guides the protagonist's actions and reactions, distinguishing from right and wrong. Development, or dynamic growth and evolution throughout the story, illustrating the protagonist's journey of self-discovery. Complexity, flaws and contradictions humanize the protagonist, adding layers to their personality and makes the journey much more interesting. Charisma, a character's magnetic personality can captivate audiences, drawing them into the protagonist's narrative arc much easier if said character is able to make the audience resonate with the protagonist's point of view or their plight. Leadership, inspiring others to take charge in crucial moments highlight the protagonist's role as a leader and gives even the viewer someone to aspire to. Humor, a touch of humor adds levity to the narrative, endearing the protagonist to viewers. Sacrifice, willingness to make sacrifices for the greater good demonstrates the protagonist's altruism and heroism. Adaptability, flexibility in responding to changing circumstances showcases the protagonist's resourcefulness. And finally, legacy, leaving a lasting impact on the story, world, and other characters solidifies the protagonist's significance. Whew. Now, with the criteria down, let's talk about a few of our protagonists that we'll be pulling from today. In no particular order, we have Monkey D. Luffy, Naruto Uzumaki, Edward Elric, Gon Freaks, Goku, Ichigo Kurosaki, Eren Yeager, Yusuke Urameshi, Saitama, Yuji Itadori, Izuku Midoriya, Natsu Dragneel, and Tanjiro Kamado. There are obviously many more protagonists out there that we could be focusing on today, but for just today, let's focus on these guys. Obviously, since this is shonen, there's a lot of protagonists here who are going to have similar traits, so it goes without saying that a lot of the aforementioned criteria will apply to several of our protagonists. Also, bit of a boys club, isn't it? When are we going to get our female lead that is the most powerful character in the show? So, for each of these characters, I'm going to describe what I think is the best and worst trait of these characters and mention why they may be the best protagonist. Monkey D. Luffy. Most favorable trait: unwavering determination and fearlessness. Luffy's boundless optimism and refusal to back down in the face of adversity inspired those around him, like when he rearranged St. Charles' face, and his sense of freedom is unmatched by any of his contenders. Least favorable trait: stubbornness bordering on recklessness. His impulsive nature often leads to risky decisions that put himself and his crew in danger, like when he rearranged St. Charles' face. Why he's the best: Luffy's infectious spirit and unwavering commitment to his friends and dreams make him the epitome of a shonen protagonist. His relentless pursuit of freedom and adventure resonates with audiences worldwide, solidifying his status as not only an icon, but the freest man of them all. Naruto Uzumaki. Most favorable trait: much like Luffy, Naruto's best quality is his ability to tackle adversity with a never-give-up attitude. Naruto's resilience and determination to prove himself against all odds inspire others to believe in themselves. However, the thing that really sets Naruto apart is his empathy, which allows him to look at things even from his combatant's perspective, even in the heat of battle. Least favorable trait: impulsive behavior and naivety. His brash actions and tendency to rush into situations without thinking can sometimes lead to disastrous consequences. Why he's the best: Naruto's journey from an outcast to revered leader is a testament to the power of perseverance and self-belief. His unwavering resolve to protect his friends and village make him a beloved and iconic protagonist in the world of anime, and his talk no jutsu is so revered that while many may laugh at it, none will deny its power. Edward Elric. Most favorable trait: intellectual curiosity and thirst for knowledge. Edward's insatiable desire to uncover the mysteries of alchemy drives him to push the boundaries of science and magic. Aside from his thirst for knowledge, Edward is the best brother anyone could possibly ask for, and his journey definitely portrays as much. Least favorable trait: guilt and self-blame, stemming from his past mistakes. His tendency to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders can sometimes hinder his ability to move forward. And to me, this makes Edward the most relatable protagonist of the list. Why he's the best: Edward's complex character arc marked by self-sacrifice, redemption, and growth is a masterclass in character development. His unwavering dedication to righting the wrongs of the past and protecting those he loves cements his status as one of anime's greatest protagonists. Gon Freaks. Most favorable trait: genuine kindness and empathy towards others. Gon's compassionate nature and willingness to see the good in everyone he meets set him apart as a truly selfless character, until something happens to someone he cares for. Least favorable trait: single-mindedness leading to tunnel vision. His relentless pursuit of his goals can sometimes blind him to the consequences of his actions. And I really don't feel like I need to say more about that. Why he's the best: Gon's journey of self-discovery and personal growth is a testament to the power of empathy and compassion. His unwavering determination to find his father and uncover the truth about his past resonates with audiences of all ages, making him a standout protagonist in the world of shonen anime. Also, there's another level of relatability as his dad just straight up left his ass. Goku. Most favorable trait: pure-heartedness and unwavering optimism. Goku's boundless enthusiasm and belief in the inherent goodness of others make him a beacon of hope in times of darkness. Plus, his unwavering self-improvement is something that any person can admire. Least favorable trait: naivety and occasional lack of strategic thinking. His childlike innocence and tendency to underestimate his opponents can sometimes put him at a disadvantage. I mean, he has the strength of literal gods but was taken out by a laser pistol. Why he's the best: Goku's indomitable spirit and insatiable thirst for adventure embody the essence of every shonen anime. His unwavering commitment to protect the innocent and standing up to evil make him a timeless and beloved protagonist in the hearts of fans worldwide, and at the end of the day, Goku will always be one of the gold standards for a protagonist. Ichigo Kurosaki. Most favorable trait: loyalty and protectiveness towards friends and loved ones. Ichigo's fierce determination to defend those he cares about from harm drives him to push past his own limits in battle often, and his magnetic personality allows him to make friends pretty easily, even of his adversaries at times. Least favorable trait: hot-headedness and tendency to act impulsively. His brash nature and quick temper can sometimes lead to unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings. Why he's the best. Ichigo's journey from a reluctant hero to a fearless protector is a compelling tale. His unwavering dedication to his friends and duty as a Soul Reaper make him stand out as a protagonist, and he's one of the few characters that have multiple transformations that all look really cool. Eren Yeager. Most favorable trait: passionate determination to fight for freedom and justice. Eren's unwavering resolve to break free from the shackles of oppression and protect his loved ones drives him to push the boundaries of what is possible and his own humanity. Least favorable trait: ruthlessness and obsession bordering on extremism. His single-minded pursuit of his goals can sometimes lead him down a pretty dark path, causing him to lose sight of his humanity and of some of the ones around him. Why he's the best. Eren's complex character arc, marked by moral ambiguity and internal conflict, sets him apart as a truly compelling protagonist. His unwavering commitment to his ideals, even in the face of overwhelming odds, make him a standout figure amongst this list. Side note, I actually think that Eren is the worst protagonist here simply for the fact that, at the end of the day, it's kinda hard to get behind genocide. Yusuke Urameshi. Most favorable trait: growth from delinquent to selfless hero through personal development. Yusuke's journey of redemption and self-discovery is a testament to the power of second chances and the potential of growth within us all. It definitely feels like Yusuke was one of the bigger building blocks for creating characters like Naruto. Least favorable trait: stubbornness and impulsiveness in decision-making. His brash nature and his tendency to act without thinking can sometimes land him in pretty big trouble. Although there are a lot of people who think that this is one of his better qualities as well, just because it leads to his personality. Why he's the best. Yusuke's transformation from a troubled teenager to a selfless hero, willing to sacrifice everything for the greater good, is a journey that showcases several sides of our hero and is enjoyable to watch the entire way through. His unwavering dedication to protecting the innocent and standing up to evil makes him a timeless and beloved protagonist, and one that will go on to inspire several more characters in the future. Saitama. Most favorable trait: humility despite overwhelming power and strength. Saitama's down-to-earth demeanor and modesty in the face of his unparalleled abilities make him a refreshingly relatable person. Truthfully, there is not a single person that I've showed this to that hasn't liked it. Its charm is just extremely hard to match in a show that takes itself serious all the time. Least favorable trait: boredom and lack of emotional investment due to his unbeatable status. His overwhelming power can sometimes lead to apathy and disinterest in the world around him, and while it is funny, I'd like to see him be genuinely excited a little bit more often. Why he's the best. Saitama's unique take on the superhero genre, coupled with his irreverent humor and unassuming nature, make him a standout character in not only anime, but the superhero genre in general. His journey to find fulfillment and purpose beyond mere strength resonates with many, making him a beloved and iconic figure. Yuji Itadori. Most favorable trait: courage and selflessness in the face of danger. Yuji's willingness to risk his own life to protect others showcases his noble and heroic spirit, and his wish for those around him to have a meaningful death is a commendable trait that I personally haven't seen embodied by anybody else. Least favorable trait: becoming emotionally invested in fights on the regular and having hesitation in his actions due to circumstances around him often puts him and his allies in danger, even if just momentarily. He's also pretty naive, but he's just a kid at the end of the day, so we won't dock him too much for that one. Why he's the best. Yuji's change of perspective from an ordinary high school student who just lost his last family member to being the host of the most prolific evil in Jujutsu history and dealing with the ramifications of technically being a mass murderer makes his story one of, if not the most interesting to watch. Not only that, but his story includes the arc of going from powerless to powerful in a tasteful way, much like our next candidate. Izuku Midoriya. Most favorable trait? Determination and perseverance in the pursuit of his dreams. Izuku's unwavering resolve to become a hero, despite lacking a quirk, showcases his indomitable spirit and strength of character. Plus, his sense of justice and willingness to do what's right makes him the ideal hero to many. Least favorable trait: self-doubt and insecurity stemming from his perceived limitations and constant bullying from Bakugo. His tendency to second-guess himself can sometimes hinder his ability to fully embrace his potential and seems to slow down his growth. Until a certain point, that is. Why he's the best. Izuku's journey from a quirkless underdog to the successor of the greatest hero is a testament to the power of determination, perseverance, and a little luck. His unwavering commitment to helping others and standing up to injustice makes him a standout protagonist amongst all these heroes. Natsu Dragneel. Most favorable trait: loyalty and fierce protectiveness towards his friends and guildmates. Natsu's unwavering devotion to those he cares about drives him to go great lengths to ensure their safety and well-being. Natsu's a lot like Luffy, somehow, some way that they'll pull through when the team needs it most. Least favorable trait: hot-headedness and impulsiveness in decision-making. His tendency to charge into battle without thinking can sometimes land him and his friends in trouble. Not to mention his constant bickering with Gray does get old after a while. Why he's the best. Natsu's journey from a fiery young wizard to the most powerful mage in the Fairy Tail Guild is ultimately a testament to the power of friendship and camaraderie. This entire story hinges on Natsu and his guildmates constantly working together against adversity, and his unwavering determination to protect his friends makes him a beloved protagonist, much like all the rest. Tanjiro Kamado. Most favorable trait: compassion and empathy towards both humans and demons. Tanjiro's unwavering belief in the inherent goodness of all beings drives him to seek a peaceful resolution to conflicts whenever possible. Least favorable trait: overwhelming guilt and self-blame stemming from his family's tragic fate. His tendency to carry the weight of his past on his shoulders, literally, can sometimes cloud his best judgment and hinder his ability to move forward, literally. Why he's the best. Tanjiro's journey is one of self-infliction. In the wake of his family being slain, he could have taken Nezuko and lived a quiet life in hiding, while the Hashira took care of the demon infestation. Instead, he chose to put himself in the forefront and become the hero that everyone needs. Okay, with the criteria decided and characters chosen, who is the overall best shonen protagonist? Before revealing our winner, I think it'd be fun to mention a few of our contestants who fell to the last places and the ones that came in second and third. So, rounding out the bottom of our group, we have Natsu Dragneel and Gon Freaks! In the case of Natsu, it has more to do with the anime rather than his character itself. Throughout the entirety of Fairy Tail, we see the theme of the power of friendship brought up battle after battle, and this really kills my interest in the series personally. The power of friendship is a fine concept, but at no point in time while watching the series did I feel like somebody may actually die, or something extremely detrimental may actually happen. Also, just the obscene amount of fan service. Following up Natsu is Gon. Now, I like this character for what he brings to the table of Hunter x Hunter, but let's be real here. The character himself doesn't really grow all too much from a maturity and emotional standpoint. And that's okay, he's not supposed to because he's a kid. He's going through many emotional and traumatizing events all for the sake of finding his deadbeat dad. This kid goes through it. But, for me personally, the story doesn't feel any worse off for not having Gon around. The current story of Hunter x Hunter is more interesting than it has ever been in my opinion. And while we followed Gon's journey, time and time again we watched as he led with his emotions of anger and guilt. He feels akin to Naruto in part 1 and early part 2 before he learns to deal with the cycle of hatred and pain. So, because Gon not only has a hard time developing emotionally and his lack of presence doesn't affect the story too much, Gon goes towards the bottom of the list of protagonists here. That's not to say that either of these characters are bad, it's just compared to the top 3, both of these characters have a lot to live up to. And now, for our top 3 finalists. Rounding out 3rd place with the bronze medal is the man who inspired us all to practice our finishing moves on the playground. The one who stands up to evil all across the galaxy. It's none other than Goku. Goku is an amazing protagonist with a plethora of positive things to say about. He's funny, strong, inspiring, protective, battle savvy, and is just overall a good person to his core. His multitude of moments standing up against threats that could easily wipe out entire galaxies, all for the sake of protecting his planet and loved ones, is inspiring to all ages and cultures alike. Goku himself is a bit of a dunce and can be pretty naive, but that usually leads to his charm. However, one thing I don't feel is conveyed super well through Goku is a lot of different emotions. Now, don't get me wrong, we know when he's angry, like what happened to both Krillin on Namek and Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball Super, but there aren't many moments where Goku's emotions really ring through for me personally. His happiness is infectious, and Go Get 'Em attitude is definitely a joy to watch, but Goku feels like a character that really only has 2 tones, either happy and joyful or serious/angry. Coming in at 2nd place, we have the hero who linked the world together, the man who tamed the hearts of several tailed monsters and stopped an alien invasion on the planet. It's the #1 knucklehead ninja, Naruto Uzumaki. Before I go any further, I do want to say that this was a very close toss-up between Luffy and Naruto. Both of these characters are very similar in how they inspire people around them, have tenacious never give up attitudes, have some of the best friends anybody could ask for, and overall are just cool characters and fun to watch. Now, with the given criteria mentioned, it was hard for me to decide who makes me feel more while watching them, and it ultimately came down to one thing: grief. Grief has been a very real aspect for my life, all of my life. So while watching these two, I really honed in on which of these reactions felt more real to me. And one scene really solidified my decision.
Naruto, what's the matter? Calm down, Naruto.
He's hyperventilating.
Slow your breathing down.
Naruto! Naruto! Can you hear me? Naruto! Naruto!
Now, don't get me wrong, Luffy's breakdown was very hard to watch, but let's be real here. Who doesn't react that way if their brother, who they spent several days trying to rescue, died in their arms right after rescuing them? Who wouldn't react like that? Naruto's reaction after Jiraiya's death honestly hurt just as much. But Naruto having a panic attack? That was not only hard to watch, but very, very real for not only myself, but I'm sure many other viewers as well. Most of the time, when Luffy speaks, he inspires. He's a good captain. But personally, I feel Naruto is more complex as a character, and as such, he has earned the silver medal. Okay, here we go. Who's gonna get the gold? The best protagonist. We have several good candidates left, but there can only be one winner. And if you're gonna be given the title of best protagonist, you're gonna need a heart made full metal. Edward Elric is hands down the best protagonist from the shonen group of characters that we've selected today. Now, I'd like to make things clear. I said best, not most powerful. I am well aware that Goku solos. Edward, from the beginning of the show, demonstrates not only a clear goal in getting his brother's body back, but also shows a likable array of emotions with his interactions between his brother Alphonse, various other side characters, and not to mention how he interacts with his antagonists. He's a young man who means well, wants the best for those around him, and ultimately just wants to correct the mistakes he's made in the past. He's always thinking of those around him and has real emotions that are easy to align yourself with. Just like the other protagonists on this list, he's got cool fight sequences and villains, interesting plot lines, and personal struggles to deal with, but his decision making at the end of the series really sells how good of a person Edward is, hot-headed as he may be. At the end, Edward's story wraps up nicely, and we get the ending to the series that we all collectively wanted for the most part. Just two brothers with their original bodies, happy to be back together. All of these characters are flawed in some way, shape, or form. Part 1 Naruto can be kind of annoying with all of the "believe it" we get from the first few seasons. Gon has really bad anger issues and should probably talk to a therapist before going back to life as a hunter. And Goku needs to pick a fucking hair color. But all of these characters are also great in their own way as well. Making this video was hard because I love all of these series, and my bias for Naruto did want me to put him at number 1 in the beginning, but ultimately I think Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood has the best showing for a shonen protagonist, and if you haven't given it a watch, I'd consider giving it a try. It's only 52 episodes, there's no fluff, it's a solid experience the entire time. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was very hard for me to make. The scripting took a little while, and ultimately deciding just who is the best and the worst out of this group came down to a lot of decision making. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button down below for me. Make sure you are subscribed, that way you know when each and every single one of my videos come out. And please leave a comment letting me know what type of video you'd like to see in the future. Clearly I'm going to be doing video essay type stuff, but sometimes it's hard. Hold on, there's a bug. Sometimes it's hard for me to come up with ideas. So if you have an idea of a video you'd like to hear me talk about, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.